sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
Feels like it's been forever and a day.
Well, 'cause we keep having guests. So popular.
I know. So you can't be making noise with your coffee. Why'd you bring a drink in here? You brought me a drink in.
No, I handed it to you when you came up here. You brought it in here, into the room, the studio.
So our daughter had her first wrestling match today.
Mm-hmm.
First partially dislocated shoulder today.
Boom.
And it's sad because she missed a ring-out game against one of her friends. We've been waiting all season. Today was the day. She was a trooper, though.
Yeah, she chugged along, man, stood around and cheered on her friends.
But she's got bruised ribs. Gotta go get x-rays, joys. But some of those kids are rough. Really rough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Wrestling's not a soft sport, man.
I wrestled. I was never injured.
No, because you were probably the rough kid. So if two kids go to wrestle and one kid comes away going, oh my God, that person was rough, and it's not you, that means you're the rough kid.
I probably was.
Probably, yeah. Way to leave yourself a note.
Maybe. Anyway. Anything new and exciting?
No. No, my life is boring. It's just running around doing stuff for you guys.
You've been sick.
You've been sick as a dog.
How are you feeling now? Why are we in a small enclosed space if you've been sick?
I have already coughed on everything you own when you weren't around. And you're still not sick, so I decided, screw it. Let's get into a closed space.
All righty. Well, there you have it. Well, I think now just we're getting closer to the holidays for people who... Why did you look like that?
I didn't look like anything.
Like, thanks, Mr. Obvious.
No, and not even a little bit.
Okay. Well, and it's not even, this is an anytime thing. It's not just a holiday thing. Why are you looking like that?
This is my face. Hey, sorry. I'll be stoic.
Jason Segel.
I'll be stoic.
Is that his name? Jason Segel?
There is a Jason Segel. I don't know in context you're trying to apply it to.
He's an actor.
Yeah. Jason Segel, that's an actor.
Mm-hmm. He's in Shrinking.
Okay.
With Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
But there's also, was it Love You Man? Is that Jason Segel?
Yeah.
Love You Man? Okay, yes. Jason Segel in Shrinking says, it's just face. When people are like, what's that look? And he's like, it's just face.
What would you consider to be the greatest comedy of all time?
Greatest comedy of all
Comedy
time?
movie. Like, what's your favorite comedy movie of all time? Beep, boop, beep.
That doesn't even... Andy's been teasing me all day.
About being a computer, being a robot.
Yes.
Beep, boop, beep.
I don't know. What would you say?
I don't know. Darren and I had this conversation the other day. He stands by The Breakup as his all-time greatest. And it's a pretty darn good one.
Which one's that again?
Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. Where they break up and end up still living together while they figure everything out. There's a lot of good one-liners in it.
I always thought the Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids was awesome.
I always thought that was, but then I watched it again. Wasn't as funny the second time.
See, and that's the reverse of Napoleon Dynamite. Hated it the first time I watched it. Now it's a go-to quite regularly. That Idiocracy, I'll go back to. Office Space, I'll go back to. My all-time best, though, is Big Lebowski. It's the best comedy of all time.
Was that a comedy?
Yeah.
I've never actually finished the whole thing.
I know. It saddens me.
Well, maybe I will have to watch it. I watched 40-Year-Old Virgin with the girls. Maybe one girl.
How do they like do you know how I know you're gay bit? Do you have to explain that?
No.
Oh my God.
It was just Maya and I. She actually enjoyed that one.
It's a good movie.
The one that the very first time I ever saw it was just the one scene that I laughed out loud. And I don't think I'm not a big laugher out louder, but it was Elf when he gets hit by the taxi.
Yeah.
Like I just laughed out loud. There's
great parts in that one. The Frey, hi, I'm Buddy Elf. What's your name? Francisco. Ooh, that's fun to say. It's got great lines. I don't know why the kids hate it so much.
Yeah, they really do. And I love you, Maya Stewart. I love you.
Maybe that's why she hates the movie so much.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's why.
Really just answered our question pretty quickly there.
Yeah. So, the question that I have today, just, I was thinking as we're getting closer to the holidays, but this is true of any time. I came across this article around how to unspoil your kids.
Mhm.
And so it's just talking about entitlement, a lot of the things that we have talked about, right? And so, parenting experts don't like using the word spoiled. They kind of go through all of that. But just looking at the entitlement, where they do believe, we're the center of the universe, I get my way, things come easy, a lot of those things that we've talked about in the past. So I'm just going to focus a little bit on the parenting behaviors, because that's what it comes down to, right? It's not that children are spoiled or children are entitled. It's about how have we created these habits
Mhm.
that kids believe that they really are the center of the universe, right? So they've developed this entitlement. And I think I've talked about it before. I read a book where, it was a millennial who's like, you Gen Xers created us because just, everybody gets a trophy and like it doesn't matter how hard we work because we're just going to get it, or just create a vision board and
Mhm.
everything will come your way. And that was the thing. Just think positively and everything will work out. So I know we've talked about that, but I want to look specifically at the parenting. So I thought maybe we could just go through some of the things.
Yep.
And I the thing that I actually love about this article, because there's a lot of articles that are out there that are garbage that I don't agree
Oh,
with.
like 99% of them. Yeah.
So garbage. But they do talk about, A, that the children aren't just born that way, and B, parents aren't going out of their way to try to make spoiled, entitled
Totally.
children either. We
Yeah.
are doing the best that we can. So it's not about a shame, blame, anything. It's just bringing our awareness to it. It's kind of like a self-fulfilled prophecy at the end of
Yeah.
the day. We're so worried about our bond and our attachment with our kids that we're not very good at setting boundaries. And that's one of the key things, right? Like when we set a boundary. So I thought I would kind of go through some of that. I don't know if you have initial thoughts before.
No, I think this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. What's interesting?
Just the whole premise of unspoiling your kids, right?
Yeah.
And I do like to preface that, it's not about blame. And we tried never to be about blame, but, a lot of the online conversation is around blame and my view versus your view, and very contrarian. So I think it's most definitely the right approach in terms of, well, it's similar to a conversation we had a few weeks ago around the awareness piece is the piece that needs to trigger all other change, right?
Yeah.
If you can't be aware of A, either what you want, or B, what you currently have that you don't want, in whatever context, you're never going to be able to enact the change you want.
Well, and that's the first step is just, and they even say like, reflect, take time. The minute I start talking about this, even just right now, start thinking about how you might be contributing to spoiling your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I always see that around the holidays. Like I've already started doing some shopping. They've made their lists and I want to get everything. Maya's easy because she's got 3 things on there, 3 records that are not even $100 total, right? So for her, it's easy. But then it's like, oh, I want to get more and more and more. And
I got to keep it even. Well, I bought this person so much more, and I got to make sure that the other person doesn't feel that they're slighted. Yeah.
So sometimes around the buying things, sometimes too, though, it's around like, well, I mean, I was just thinking we can do a little bit of a reflection. That's where I get sucked into it sometimes. But, boundaries, I think we're pretty good at boundaries.
Boundaries in what way?
Just rules and expectations. Although I guess like chore stuff we let slide.
Yeah, but I think that's more a reflection of where we are currently at from our own state of mind, right? Like what you and I have always done is we're very quick to figure out what are the fights that are worth fighting in this moment and what are the fights you want to come back to because they are important. You just can't do it right now.
Right.
Nothing aggravates me more than chasing after the kids for chores. But I'm in a place right now where we're flat out. It's the end of the year. We're exhausted. I just don't have it in me. So it's easier for me to clean the counter, clean the kitchen, get everything put away. So, because it's funny. I don't know if this is where we're going to go with this, but it's harder for me to stare at the mess that they're refusing to acknowledge than it is for me to concede that they might have won this round, because mentally I just need it clear. I need to see order, right, within the chaos in a way. And I'm okay circling back with them, but at the same time, we've talked about this, I think, on the podcast and off on our own. It's the uh, uh, like, listen, dude, like, and I don't want to be the authoritarian, but that's when I start wondering, okay, have we gone too far? And I don't know what the trigger point is, right? Because I know there are points where, we just, and I know for me, that's probably my biggest thing is it's not worth the fight. Yeah. It's just not worth the fight, right?
And I think that's where I felt like I have a rule where we don't start a new show after 8. Mm-hmm. And actually last night, well, we've been watching a lot of TV again, but we've all been sick. We've all, the past few weeks, we've just kind of taken turns getting sick. We're all exhausted. Last night, it was just 7:59.
Oh, I bet they were scrambling to get to that hit next episode.
So we did. But there happened a couple nights even after 8 because I want to watch the next, it's left. We're watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel right now, and we're loving it. And so, we're kind of getting sucked in that way. So I do find I'm a little bit more flexible when I'm too tired, but also wanting to partake in.
When it serves what you ultimately want.
Yeah.
Right? It's way easier. Fine, I know it's 8:10, but I really am enjoying this. That's totally easy. Right? Yeah. So I get that for sure.
So I do think just, starting to think about and think about past parenting, maybe when they were babies and if you have older kids, just looking at some of those patterns that could be contributing to some of this quote unquote spoiling sort of behaviors. And it might be based on our own childhood too, because maybe we had strict parents and we don't want to be like that. Mm-hmm. Right. So we want to be warm and giving and, all of these types of things.
Totally.
So, another one is to start encouraging autonomy, right? So this is one that I know we've talked a lot about. What are you doing for your kids that they could be doing for themselves? Right?
Everything.
So getting dressed in the morning, brushing their teeth, getting ready for their bedtime routine, getting ready for school. We do so much for our children. We really need to start creating autonomy. And if they are doing good, looking for other opportunities too. Well, we had, I don't know what got into us, but Maya had talked about painting, wanting to repaint our main floor, living room and kitchen area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you pick the paint. Let's go. I'll take you to the store. And I let her pick the paint. And I thought it was god awful. And not only that, I let her paint. Our front main area where we're going to entertain and stuff, I let her paint. And so even though I saw spots missing on the wall, I didn't go over it. I just let her do it. But it looks fantastic. She made great choices.
Yep.
The space looks amazing now. It's just, so making big decisions. I think that, I don't know.
Yeah, I think our kids have a lot of autonomy with that stuff because we're not married to the thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot easier for us to give up control of the thing. Whereas, we know a lot of people that know the house is, perfect. And this was specifically selected and don't break. I don't have the energy or the attention span to constantly be chasing kids that have demonstrated time and time again they can't put their shoes away. So how am I going to trust them to not wreck a $10,000 couch? So yeah, I think we're a lot easier with that.
Well, we've never been materialistic in that way. It's just whatever. If it's broken, it's just a thing. We can. Yeah. Well, you were like that with the paint. Whatever. If it's terrible, we'll just repaint over it, right?
Yeah. So I do wish we had thought it through before. I am now sanding and preparing a 120-year-old piece of lumber to replace the mantle that came off the fireplace because I'm not sure we really talked that part out.
No. Maya and I put some holes in the wall trying to take it off because we thought it'd be really good. We were tired with that mantle.
Screw that mantle.
Well, it doesn't fit with paint anymore.
No, it totally doesn't. So, yeah.
But, include that autonomy with things that they should be doing for themselves. So that's a piece. But the big one is setting and enforcing those boundaries, right? I know it's hard saying no to our kids sometimes. I know it's exhausting. Sometimes it's just easier to follow through, but they need those. I mean, so many parents worry about attachment or it is just easier. Just give them the thing and then we'll be on our way.
Mm-hmm.
They hate the idea of their kids hating them and being mad and saying, I hate you, and, all of these kinds of things. But those boundaries are so important for their safety, for their security, for attachment.
Yeah.
So being able to set those things and then it's great opportunities to validate when they're disappointed they didn't get their way or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then we can be like, man, it sucks. I can see you're really disappointed that didn't turn out. I don't know if you have any.
No, I think I contributed what I was going to that point because it is. It's I'm not sure I know what the point was. I'll be honest with you. So I don't know what I need to answer in this part.
It's just when you lay down a rule or an expectation, like saying, no, you can't have your ice cream today. And then they're like, I want ice cream, or no TV after 8:00 or you don't have like whatever it is. You can't go to your sleepover. You can't, whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, we've in the, I agree. I think there are those parameters that need to be put in place and we put them in place. Right. And we just did it like 2 weeks ago. That's great that you got plans with this friend, but you've got these 4 things that need to be done before you get to leave the house.
Yeah.
And it was a fight and it was, this is unfair. And
a negotiation, like, can I just do it tomorrow?
Can I just do this part tomorrow? Yeah. And it's like, no, just get it done, right? It's never let us down.
Yeah.
It's always gotten done before they walked out the door, right? And maybe in the one instance that they didn't get it done and they didn't get to do what they wanted, well, there's your lesson, right?
I did it once. It was heartbreaking where we were going to Callaway Park, which is like a fair. What would you call it?
Just an amusement park.
Amusement park, yeah. And I said, the car is leaving at 9:00. I'll know you want to come to the amusement park if you're in the car at 9:00, and literally once all 4 of my wheels are off the driveway, I'm gone. So if you're in the car, fantastic. If I still have a couple wheels on the driveway and you're coming out, I will take you. But once all 4 wheels are off the driveway, you're done. You're not coming.
Yeah.
And getting ready. And I was saying, how can I support you to get ready? Just remember the rule. And guess what? One of the kids wasn't ready. And I pulled off. All 4 wheels were off. And I started driving away and I could see them running down, calling for me, crying. And I cried all the way to the amusement park without that child. Mm-hmm. And it was hard. It was heartbreaking. But it never happened again. Right. And it was disappointing and I could come home and it's not about the carrot and this, if you do this, make sure you do it because then you get to go, or, you don't get to go if you don't do this. Like that becomes just punishing either way, even if we're trying to bribe or punish. It's just, I'll know you want to come with me when this happens. And I'll know you didn't want to come that much if you're not in the car. So it's your choice, right? And so we need to be nonchalant, and it really is your choice. Even though I wanted her so badly to be successful, that's where we can get sucked in. I find even more. It's just, we don't want to see our kids hurting and we get sucked in. And it was hard. I mean, the other child was very resilient because she just called grandma and hung out with grandma for the day anyways. It wasn't the amusement park, but
no, but she got stuff bought for her and whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah. So setting boundaries is important. The next one is ditching rewards for everyday tasks.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that never really worked for us. It worked for a bit and the rewards typically weren't monetary for a lot of it, right? And we've never tied allowance to chores, right? Yeah, I don't think time. I think there's a difference. I think this is interesting because there are circumstances where teaching them how to work and earn money is a good opportunity to teach them. But I don't think rewarding them with money for an expectation is warranted.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and we've had the conversation before. It's more about you have to learn to respect the house and the space and the people in it, because it's your house and your family and your place, right? It's not about us. And I think to a certain degree, Maya has picked up on it more, right? Like if she wants friends over, it's nicer to have a cleaner house, right? It's nice to have a house that's organized. It sucks if the house isn't. Well, it's not you and me going around and destroying the place. It's not just them. It's all four of us need to be on the same page. So to reward that, like, hey, thanks for doing what you should do anyways. Yeah, I don't think you should do that.
No. And I think like, hey, thanks so much for cleaning up. That really helped. And now we get to go and watch. Now we've got time to go watch Mrs. Maisel or whatever it is. Right. So that's okay. But yeah, rewarding everything, brush your teeth, doing your homework, going to bed. Like it has become out of control.
A lot of our rewards were on behavior to each other. We never really put reward. We sometimes did, right? You do this, you get a star, you do this, you get whatever. But it was really the big rewards were more around like the sister love rocks and stuff that you came up with. And that was a collective, you guys are driving us nuts and you need to behave sort of thing, right? But that was really the only time I think we really rewarded.
Then they were looking forward to it. And it wasn't like, it was the gratitude, right? So looking forward, and there wasn't a lot attached with it. It was just the routine of debriefing our day, praising each other, talking about what we appreciate with each other. And so it was really fostering a lot of those pro-social emotions as well.
Yeah.
Now, certainly a lot of kiddos do need that support. If there's some neurodivergence going on and they need some scaffolding and support, with accommodations, but still it becomes out of control because I've worked with kids. Well, what's it to me? Like, I'll go brush my teeth, but what are you going to give me? And it's not ever enough. Like, no, it's not worth it. $20 not worth brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
And so that's what it can become. And so I do always fall back, like, it's your choice. I know that you want to do this thing if you do it, but I'll know, kiddo, you don't want to do it. So it's totally up to you, right? So it's throwing it back on them. I love parenting with love and logic. It's a lot of that kind of thing. So if anyone's looking for a book to read or anything, and I'll put this article in the show notes as well. One thing, we don't have to talk too much about this, but because I think it's something we talk about a lot, but not rescuing your kid every time they make a mistake or experience setbacks. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know we want to fix the day and we want to reassure them and make them feel better and all of these kinds of things, but they need to experience fail. They need to experience the consequences of their actions.
Well, and I think that's a large degree of what's missing. That, oddly enough, it's funny that you said we can skip over this because we talk about it. This is a podcast unto itself because it is.
It's true.
It is important for them to fail, right? And it is important for them to feel like we went through a massive disappointment this year with sports stuff, right? It was a failure. It wasn't what they wanted. It wasn't where they ended up. 2-3 months in, it's a completely different story, right? They're happier in the place they're in. They've made new friends. They're enjoying it. They don't have the stress that they had before, right? All things you can't convince them of at the time, but they had to go through it, right? And in the moment, our initial reaction was less about trying to fix it and more about trying to get options, right? And I was very clear when we had those conversations. It was really more important for us to figure out what was the best for her and let her make that decision. Yeah. And she decided just to keep going down the path she was on and see how it ended up, right? So I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and even things like school, if they forget their homework, right? Or they miss a test or something, like they have to experience that discomfort and own up to it.
Hey,
and
there's a ski trip coming up that the paperwork didn't get submitted on time for, right? So now you're on the wait list.
Yeah.
Right? It's little things all the way up to big things, right? There are lessons every day.
And ski trip breaks my soul because that one was so important to me, but like it can't be my thing. Expect and accept that your kids are going to be upset with you. It's going to be inevitable. And I think that's the big piece that so many parents try to, it's okay. And we see it all the time, the rudeness towards parents, it goes beyond disrespect. It's just,
it's awful.
It's disgusting how some of these kids talk to their parents and, it's okay. Like, I'm so sorry. And, just trying to,
Yeah, that's the only time that I am not as progressive as I want to be, or as capable of emulating your better parenting traits that I try to, is when there is a willful attempt to just be rude.
Yeah.
And that's the only time that I'm very quick to be like, pardon me, like, do we have to go have a conversation that you're not going to enjoy? Because that's not any, and I mean, we're very lucky, right? Like, we're lucky we're not lucky, because we don't really have a lot of those incidents, but my kids are very rude to me. They are very mean to me. They pick on me constantly. My wife encourages it and in no way offers any support. So I have to be very clear on when is it them being, I'm doing air quotes, funny, and when are they actually being rude. But that's the one thing that I because I think, like, we're not buddy parents, right? Like, we're not trying to be their friends, but we are very much about trying to teach them what we think they need to learn, and then being there to support them when they need the support. Like, that's to me. And the only expectation is, don't be a dick to me, right? Like, don't, and I get everybody has a bad day, and I can filter that out, right? It's okay. Like, we go, like, you're emotional, something's going on, you lash out, cool. We'll move past that. It's when there's a consistent and repeated demonstration of that, I got no time for it. And I don't understand. And I'm not talking about raising hands or doing anything physical. No. It's literally, it's a very swift rebuke in the form of, and I've had to do it a couple times. Like, are you going to talk to me like that after I just filled up your car? Are you going to talk to me like that after I just did this and this and this? Like, we can modify how this relationship works really quickly, right? And just as a reminder that it's a give and take. I'm okay giving. I'm okay. I'm not okay taking BS, right? Yeah. That's to me the biggest thing.
My approach is like, wow. And then I walk away. I don't engage in it. A lot of times, I will say sometimes it's a modeling thing. Are you respecting your kids? How are you talking towards your kids? Yeah. But then on the other hand, it's this we're not laying boundaries and we're just taking it, but we need to, right? They should never talk to anyone like that. It doesn't matter.
There's no, and this is back to your earlier point about articles on the internet being garbage. This is part of the issue that not a lot of people are paying attention to, which is everybody wants everything to be black and white. Everybody wants everything to be a 3-bullet list on the 3 things that'll make this better. They want this very definitive approach to everything. And it's not that, right? Some days I'm not having a good day. I don't want to deal with anything. I don't want to be, people joking around. I don't want I just need space, right? It's recognizing when it's me, when it's them, or when it's the situation, and then modifying my response appropriately, right? Because I don't want to be that parent. I don't want to be a yeller. I don't want to be someone that loses their cool and the kids are frightened of, right? So if I feel I'm in a place where I can't process the situation or what I'm going through properly, I'll just try and remove myself from it, right? Go to another room, go to the garage, whatever. And other times, if they're being rude to me, it's very quickly assessing, okay, what else is going on? Are they just being jerks, or do they need to kind of vent, and then we'll dig into it a little bit later, and then I can reinforce the, hey, it's cool. And I always say that to Willow, right? Like, I let her say whatever she wants to get off her mind when we're in the truck, right? Mm-hmm. She can debrief about the day in any way she wants, good, bad, or otherwise. No judgment. The only time I'll intercede is just to remind her about, how she needs to try and make sure that she behaves in those situations, understanding that it's frustrating and it's tough and it's this and it's that, but just don't be a dick, right? You don't be the person that's being mean. And she's great at it. She recognizes, right?
Yeah. And I think just something you said there just kind of triggered, making sure we're differentiating between knowing misbehavior and stress behaviors. Yeah. When kids are under stress and those big emotions come back, they're going to talk back. They're going to say, I hate you. They're going to say, you're the worst parent ever. They're upset. They're not thinking. And when they're so upset, if they're going for those revenge behaviors, it's because they've been hurt. Yeah. These are hurt children and they're trying to protect themselves. So that's very different than, but still important, if they are upset, like they need to learn how to handle those big emotions and the upset. We're still not going to give them whatever it is, that they want. but just taking it. So the misbehavior, they have the capacity to make a different choice, to
100%.
say something. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not emotional. They're, like they are just cutting and they've, learned to. So I think it's important, but we do want to be able to listen. And I think that that's good, even if they are complaining. And I think Willow is so good. Maya sometimes will say if I've crossed a line or if I've upset her, but Willow is better at that. But we need to be patient and validate and open. So how we respond to that is huge.
Maya has varying degrees of eye roll with you.
Yeah.
That's your scale. If it's and she's like moving away by 6 inches, you're done. You've got no more room to do anything. And it is, right? Like to me, it comes back to what we said before is we've said in another podcast too. I want the kids to know that they're always safe around us, right? We may not agree with what they're saying, but they never have to fear getting something off their chest or, expressing frustration at something in a place that has no real repercussion other than we're going to try and use it as a learning moment, right? Like, yeah, tell me you hate that chick at school. Okay, cool. But how are you going to behave around that person? Because it's not cool for you to go back, right? Like we had an incident where there was some stuff going on in sports, right? And there was a couple of incidents, physical incidents. One of the other players crossed over the line. And Maya's reaction was angry. She was angry. And rightfully so. Like in looking at the video, it was dangerous. It was dangerous how she was taken into the boards. But in watching the video, I also saw her reaction and how she almost used it as an excuse to make another bad decision, right? So I let her vent. I let her say whatever she wanted. And then it's like, okay, now what are you going to do? Because you can't go back in there and, try and hurt someone. So it's cool. I get it. I agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying. She shouldn't have done that. I'm happy you're okay. You're not hurt. You're not going to go fight her, right? So how do we work through that? And it was more about her being able to express it than really wanting to do anything to the girl. In the moment, sure, it could have escalated, but it was really more about, did you see that? Can you believe that? That she's the worst? Yeah, absolutely. She's all those things. Absolutely, right? And so that to me is probably more important than anything else. But again, it's situational, right? We've had the opposite where Willow made it. We talked about before. Willow made a decision. It escalated. Kid a B word. He didn't respond well to that. Tears kind of flowed, and it was not her. But again, it was okay because she was trying to protect herself. It's not okay if this becomes a habitual, she's trying to hurt this person, right? And that's always the conversation is, cool, what's the lesson or what do we want to do or whatever. But
yeah. So I think I might leave it there and make this a part 2 piece because there is a lot more, but I think this is a lot to start taking in. But I think it's good, so just to recap some of the key points and you can fill in gaps that I miss, but reflecting on our behaviors, how we could
it all starts there.
It really is. It's not about trying to change their behaviors by focusing on them. It's changing their behaviors by changing our behaviors, which we always talk about.
And take stock of where you are versus where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's part of that. It's not necessarily an introspection as a, what do I like or don't like about this? And how does that align with where I actually want to be?
Yeah.
Right. And then, identify steps from there.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it comes from our own emotional stuff, right? Whether it's to break patterns of, parenting that we received in those models, but whatever that is, I mean, children need to have those boundaries. They need to hear no, they need to have those failures and expectations. So all of those pieces are important. And independence, they need to learn how to be independent and start, making big decisions for themselves. And
yeah, I agree.
Perfect. All right. Stay tuned for part 2 next time. But for now, do take stock. If you're not sure now, some of those things just pay attention to, over the next week.
100%.
And we'll pick up from there. Good day.
Well done.